Shalom, and welcome to Hebrew Bible Secrets with your host, Rabbi Beaton. We are reading today from the book of Luke, starting at chapter 8. Luke, chapter 8, verse 1. 1. And it came to pass afterward that he went throughout every city and village, preaching and proclaiming the Menorah of the kingdom of Elohim, and the 12 were with him. 2. And certain women which had been healed of unclean ruach, spirits, demons, and infirmities, Miriam, called Magdalene, out of whom went 7 unclean ruach, spirits, and demons. 3. And Elkanah, the wife of Chusa, Herod's steward, and Shoshana, and many others, who provided for him out of their resources. 4. And when many people were gathered together, and had come to him out of every city, he spoke by a parable. A sower went out to sow his seed, and as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and it was trodden down, and the birds of the air devoured it. 6. And some fell upon a rock, and as soon as it was sprung up, it withered away, because it lacked moisture. 7. And some fell among thorns, and thorns sprang up with it, and choked it. 8. And other fell on good ground, and sprang up, and bare fruit 100-fold. And when he had said these things, he called out, He that has ears, let him hear. 9. And his disciples asked him, saying, What might this parable be? 10. And he said, To you it is given to know the mysteries of the kingdom of Elohim, but to others in parables, that seeing they might not see, and hearing they might not understand. 11. Now the parable is this: the seed is the word of Elohim. 12. Those by the wayside are they that hear. Then comes the devil, and took away the word out of their hearts, lest they should believe and be rescued. 13. They on the rock are they which, when they hear, receive the word with joy, and these have no root, which for a while believe, and in time of trial fall away. 14. And that which fell among the thorns are they, which when they heard go forth, and are choked with cares and riches and pleasures of this life, and bring no fruit to completion. 15. But that on the good ground are they, which in an honest and good heart, having heard the word, keep it, and bring forth fruit with patience. 16. No man, when he has lighted a candle, covers it with a vessel, or puts it under a bed, but sets it on a Menorah, that they which enter in may see the light. 17. For nothing in secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything concealed that shall not be made known and brought to light. 18. Take heed therefore how you hear, for whoever has, to him shall be given more, and whoever has less, from him shall be taken even that which he seems to have. 19. Then came to him his mother and his brothers, and could not come close to him because of the crowd. 20. And so he was told, Your mother and your brothers are outside, desiring to see you. 21. And he answered and said to them, My mother and my brothers are these which hear the word of Elohim and do it. 22. Now it came to pass on a certain day that he went into a boat with his disciples, and he said to them, Let us go over to the other side of the lake. And so they did set out. 23. But as they sailed, he fell asleep, and there came down a violent storm on the lake, and the boat started filling with Mayim, water, and was in danger of capsizing. 24. And they came to him and awoke him, saying, Rabbi, Rabbi, we are about to die. Then he arose and rebuked the wind and the raging waves, and the wind and the waves died down, and it was calm. 25. And he said to them, Where is your faith? And they, being afraid, were amazed. saying to one another, "Who then is this? For he commands the winds and Mayim, and they obey him." 26. And they arrived at the country of the Gadareans, which is over against Galil. 27. And when he went out forth to the land, they met him out of the province a certain man, which had demons long time, and wore no clothes, neither abode in any bath house, but in the tombs. 28. When he saw Yahshua, he cried out, and fell down before him, and with a loud voice said, "What have I to do with you, Yahshua, you, son of Elohim, most high Elohim? I beg you, do not torment me." 29. For he had commanded the demon to come out of the man, for often times it had caught him, and he was kept bound with chains and in shackles, and he broke the chains, and was driven by the demon into the deserted places. 30. And Yahshua asked him, saying, "What is your name?" And he said, "Legion, because many demons have entered into him." 31. And they begged him that he would not. 32. And there was there a herd of many pigs feeding on the mountain, and they begged him that he would permit them to enter into them. And he permitted them. 33. Then the demons went out of the man and entered into the pigs, and the herd ran violently down a steep place into the lake and drowned. 34. When they that fed them saw what was done, they fled, and went and told it in the city and in the region. 35. Then they went out to see what was done, and came to Yahshua, and found the man out of whom the demons had departed, sitting at the feet of Yahshua, clothed, and in his right mind, and they were afraid. 36. Those also who saw it told them by what means he that was demon-possessed was healed. 37. Then the whole multitude of the country of the Gadarenes round about asked him to depart from them, for they were taken with great fear. And he went up into the boat and returned back again. 38. Now the man out of whom the demons were gone begged him that he might go with him. But Yahshua sent him away, saying, 39. Return to your own beth, your own house, and show how great things Elohim has done to you. And he went his way and proclaimed throughout the whole city how great things Yahshua had done to him. 40. And it came to pass that when Yahshua had returned, the people gladly received him, for they were all waiting for him. 41. And behold, there came a man named Yah, and he was the ruler of the Qahal, and he fell down at Yahshua's feet and pleaded with him that he would come into the Beth house. 42. For he had one only daughter, about 12 years of age, and she lay dying. But as he went, the crowds pressed around him. 43. And a woman having an irregular menstrual blood flow for 12 years, who had spent all her life going to doctors, could not be healed by any. 44. She came behind him and touched his zizzits, and immediately her irregular blood flow stopped. 45. And Yahshua spoke, "Who touched me?" When all denied, Kepha, Peter, and they that were with him said, "Rabbi, the multitude are surrounding you and pressing you, and you say, 'Who touched me?'" 46. And Yahshua said, "Somebody has touched me, for I perceive that power has gone out of me." 47. And when the woman saw that she could not remain unnoticed, she came trembling, falling down before him. She declared to him before all the people for what reason she had touched him, and how she was healed immediately. 48. And he said to her, "Daughter, be of good comfort. Your faith has healed you. Go in shalom." 49. While he spoke, there came one of the ruler of the Qahal, saying to him, Your daughter is dead. Trouble not the Rabbi. 50. But when Yeshua heard it, he answered him, saying, Fear not, believe only, and she shall be made whole. 51. And when he came into the Beth house, he allowed no man to go in, except Kepha, Peter, and Yaakov, and Yehochanan, John, and the Av, and the mother of the young girl. 52. And all wept and bewailed her, but he said, Weep not, she is not dead, but sleeps. 53. And they laughed him to scorn, knowing that she was dead. 54. And he put them all out, and took her by the hand and called, saying, Young girl, arise. 55. And her Ruach spirit returned, and she arose straightway, and he commanded to give her food. 56. And her parents were amazed, but he commanded them that they should tell no man what was done. Okay, so that now brings us to the end of chapter 8. So let's have a look at some of the footnotes in chapter 8. So the first footnote we have is in verse 11. Now the parable is this. The seed is the word of Elohim. Okay, the seed is the word. So let's have a look at this. The word is idiomatic expression for the Torah of Moses. Okay, so the word relates to the Torah of Moses. Okay, so let's go to the next verse, which is in verse 12. Those by the wayside are they that hear. Then comes the devil and took away the word. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Took away the word. So the devil deceived them and removed the Torah from them. Many have fallen into this deception already by saying that the Torah is only for the Jews and refusing to practice it. Okay, so let's go to the next footnote, which is a continuation. And took away the word out of their hearts, lest they should believe and be rescued. Okay, let's have a look at this, rescued. So the Torah has the words of life, contrary to popular church faith, that the Torah only reveals sin. If you tell a lie long enough, people will believe it. The Torah also gives life. See Deuteronomy 30 and 19. Those who have the Torah have favor. Those who do not receive the Torah are only being deceived. Therefore, to practice Torah is life, and to abandon it is death. Again, see Deuteronomy 30:19. Decide carefully. By ignorantly rejecting the Torah of Moses, you reject Yahweh, the Creator. Okay, so let's have a look at Deuteronomy 30:19. Deuteronomy 30:19, and it reads, I call the Shamayim, the heaven, and the earth, to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings, or blessing and curse. Therefore choose life, that both you and your seed may live. Okay, so we have a few footnotes here, so let's have a look at the first one. I call the Shamayim, I call the heaven. So idiomatic expression for Upper Jerusalem and Lower Jerusalem, and the most holy place in the Hekel as witness against the people of Yahweh. Okay? So the fathers call upon the Shamayim and the earth to record this day against you. Okay? So let's go to the next footnote. That I have set before you life. Okay, let's have a look at this. Set before you life. So keeping Torah is life. Okay? Life and eternity. Okay, so the next footnote is and death. So let's have a look at this. So lawlessness is not keeping Torah and will lead to early physical death for many and lack of increases. However, for a fuller explanation, See the hidden truth he broke scrolls, Ezekiel 37. Okay, so we have one more footnote which says, and death, blessings and curse, therefore choose life. Okay, the word life here means to choose, to be regenerated by Yahweh, who wants to give it, which many incorrectly term born again. It should be born from above. Okay, so we had another reference there, Ezekiel 37. So let's have a quick look at Ezekiel 37. So Ezekiel 37, so this is talking about the valley of the dry bones. So I'll just read, obviously Ezekiel 37, you should, obviously if you want more understanding, you should read that. Go and read the whole of Ezekiel 37. But I'm going to take it from verse 5 and from verse 6. Thus says Master Yahweh, to these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall have life. And 6 reads, and I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and you shall have life, and you shall know that I am Yahweh. Okay, so we've got some footnotes in there, so let's have a look at the footnotes. So, and you shall have life, okay? So, first footnote reads, time to resurrect those that belonged to the house of Israel. The resurrection of these does not require them to know or follow any other, but these only need to belong biologically to Israel. So biology does indeed count. Okay? So the next footnote we have in there is in verse 6, and you shall have life, and you shall know that I am Yahweh. Okay, so let's have a look at this quickly. So clearly these people were biological Israelites, died in the scattering, and may have even adopted other religions such as Islam, Hinduism, or whatever. Yahweh resurrects them, puts a new spirit into them, and then they know who Yahweh really is, because they did not know previously. Some of these could have been born in exile lands and died without any message of Torah in their lives, in false religion systems like Christendom. Okay, so that gives you more of an idea. Basically, those who are keeping the Torah and die will be resurrected. Okay, those who are biological Israelites will be resurrected and given the chance. Okay, let's go to the next footnote, which is in verse 14. And that which fell among the thorns are they, which, when they heard, go forth, and are choked with the cares and riches and pleasures of this life, and bring no fruit to completion. So let's have a look at this. So many people prefer the joys of this world than being with Elohim. So they spend most of their time following football or other games and things that feel important to them, and lose sight of their eternity completely. They actually have a void that is called Eloah, or God, in the modern vernacular. They try to fill this void, but cannot. They make no preparation for their eternity. And so, one day, when they die, they will have to stand before the Kadosh One, the Holy One, one of Israel, and answer for their sins. Because they carry their sins with them, so what answer or atonement do they have? None. This means they will have a very lonely existence in Sheol, the bad parts prepared for the wicked and wicked people, where they will cry and gnash their teeth, but to no avail. This is very sad indeed, but there is a way out through Torah. So keeping the Torah, keeping the commandments is the way out. Otherwise, for many, Sheol will be waiting. Okay, so let's go to the next footnote, which is in verse 15. But that on good ground are they, which in an honest and good heart, having heard the word, keep it, and bring forth fruit with patience. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Bring forth fruit with patience. So much patience is required to learn the Torah of Yahweh and keep the commandments. We find few people like this today. While the assemblies are filled with the people on Christmas and Easter pagan season, these mostly only attend during these times, while the rest of their time is spent on their own pleasures of the world, or of this world. Okay, so I think that's quite explanatory. So let's go to the next footnote, which is in verse 16. No man, when he has lighted a candle, covers it with a vessel, or puts it under a bed, but sets it on a menorah, that they which enter in may see the light. Okay, so let's have a look at this. May see the light. So the menorah represents the light, which is the everlasting Torah of Yahweh. Okay, so the light represents the Torah. Okay, first 5 books of Moses and the prophets. But the Torah initially is the first 5 books of Moses. Okay, so let's go to the next footnote, which is verse 21. And he answered and said to them, my mother and my brothers are these which hear the word of Elohim and do it. Okay, which hear the word. So let's have a look at this. Those who obey the Torah are his brothers. Okay, so Yeshua is saying, if you keep the commandments, you are my brothers. Okay, so let's go to the next footnote, which is in verse 32. And there was there a herd of many pigs feeding on the mountain, and they begged him that he would permit them to enter into them. And he permitted them. Okay, so let's have a look at this quickly. This is one reason why Yahweh did not allow us to eat unclean animals, as they are sometimes carriers of unclean spirits also. Okay, so let's go to the next footnote, which is in verse 47. And when the woman saw that she could not remain unnoticed, she came trembling and falling down before him. She declared to him before all the people for what reason she had touched him and how she was healed immediately. Okay, so let's have a look at this, healed immediately. So we have here, so the poor woman was afraid because of being unclean, as she might be judged, because it was considered unclean for women in menstrual periods to be out in public. If she had touched a pious Hebrew man, he would subsequently become ritually unclean. He would have become very angry and humiliated her publicly. But Yeshua showed a gentle, loving heart to the woman who was in need, and he showed her compassion. We all need to learn a lesson from this. We need to learn how to deal with hurting humanity and dropping our religious garb, reaching out to people who have needs at all times of the day or the night. Okay? So that now brings us to the end of chapter 8, and I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the other side. This is Rabbi Beaton saying thank you for watching. Baruch Shem Kivot Makuto Leolam Va'ed. Benevolent be the name of his esteemed kingdom forever and ever and ever. Amen. Shalom, shalom.